Spring trances in a control emerald night. Okay. Yeah. I don't need to show no stinking badges. Right, now I've got to get those right, because I couldn't read otherwise. I grew up with autism, but I've only got OCD now, so this is progress. Now, as for reading, I didn't have to make a choice this evening, which would have been difficult, because I've got to read something for Tim. So that's what I'm going to do. Apologies to those who've heard this before. I hate reading it twice. But there you are. This is homage to Rod McEwen. And I'll spare, for time reasons, I will spare you my cretinous repartee around it. Try to create a kind of aura of academic respectability. It has its own kind of imprimatur. It usually doesn't work. This is all very serious stuff. No reserve. No reserve left of a love without reserve. How could there be a lover tomorrow or any other day if there's nothing left? My disingenuousness speaks tones. Where have the curlews gone? The estuaries and the moors are bare of them, and no warmer climes claim them. Sitting in the mouth of my cave, I watch ladies trapped by the tide and think of simple things like panting hounds, attractive clams, and the night's curfew. It's impossible to see the sun go down or the moon come up without losing sight of all that you love. For eyes are enough to sense the rankness of another man's breath on your face. As Morrissey says, you have never been in love until you've seen the dawn rise behind the home for the blind. It's true, it's all sodding true. The love you didn't give me is all the love I've known. Hard to understand in the light of my radiance, captured on the tube in crooning paroxysms. But there you go. It's not what you've had, but what you do with the notion that starbursts in the mind, that false memories take the place of the so-called real. Flowers bloom like winter echina, poppies appear in the snow, and I know you, as if something had never not yet happened. Sorry, the emotion. Just give me a moment. I don't know what it means for days to keep secrets, only that secrets are what I live day in and day out, since I became strung out on your stringing me along. And the days I have left eked out in swallowed desire. The curling sandwich of my misplaced love for you remains on the plate, remains on the dresser, adored for its age and worms, its hidden drawers filled with twine, coltsfoot, stubs of charcoal, light fittings that didn't fit, the pointless array of disarray. Dogs eat all kinds of things. Like me, they're not fussed, except when I open the can of premium meaty chunks bought last Tuesday, and they turned up their noses, choosing to snuffle in the briar patch and lick at their own turds as if puzzled by their appearance. Tell me you still smile. that the howls of Arctic wolves remind you of nights before the fire when we tracked each other's scent, unafraid of the territory. I can't trust myself to do good always, foaming at the mouth with need for you. King Priam faced the nature of choice, saw the sun set, but drank wine with Achilles. If you would just leave, if I could leave, there would still be mornings, red skies, hanging vines. That old bear I've kept since childhood has lost its growler. You press his belly repeatedly, hands like mittens, but no sound will come. Remember this when I hold my tongue. There's a word for what I do, kitsch. I can't help it. If it means no robins, the scent of wood smoke on crisp Sonoma mornings, picnics and redwoods, footprints washed away by tides, left there for aeons to be washed into view again, like a love that disappears only to become strangely new. I can live with that, though you don't have to. Reminds me horribly, just there, of Anthony Barnett at a reading saying, I'm going to read another poem about the lost breast. You can laugh if you want to. Making enemies all the way. Most girls have boyfriends assigned them at birth. If a man didn't intervene now and then, he'd always be lonesome. Lonesome and free, but it's not like freedom when I'm left still as a lizard, basking on the mesa, as you go back to the one or other who will always be there, calming the infants, straightening lawns, making everything right when all I can do is wrong. To those who go on spending their summers in Nice, overwintering in Gstaad, to whom the clink and fizz of drinks on the terrace makes the day begin and end, all I can say is think of me, reclining on a bed of nails of my own making, like the last fakir in a land where the trees drip rain and the suburbs escape into fog. I think there's a bit of ambiguity with that. They tell me rabbit fancying's on the wane. Just my luck to be coming into something when it's on the way out. I was getting proper into it and all, but now we'll have to man up and accept it for what it is. My sublimation of the loss of you, your flowering footfall attendant on my place of birth, your curling fingers, no lucky charms or keepsakes, adhesive maternal wrapping, the pause before you speak. Let the partridges cackle, my little dear, and leave the frog spawn bubbling in the pond to remind us that we come from this, and that all the energy I mustered learning to know you had its force stopped by brambles when all I wanted was to make a clearing by the old mill, instead of civilized silence, the thickets into which we roam with a view back to suburban lairs, mock Tudor gables and gnomes dotting the lawns like the dry husks of men in Pound's 7th canto. Like me. I'm as blind as a fag who knows a door is open only when the wind's banging it, who lives like a house without windows and leans awkwardly on his crutch. I know only the wind in the street and its tumbleweed connection, the crutch you are to me and the strange sounds at night in boarded tenements. Months have passed since you came to me, and I learned joy in your petals. The tragic splash of flowering Judas, your smile, smiles of a summer night. I pride myself that there were many others before you, tokens of my self-regard. How could it be otherwise? Even when pissed as a fart, Nicolas Cage scores, according to the movies. And I'm not about to let go the zeitgeist, which equates lonely with the abuse you inflict on others. So I watch patterns on the ceiling from this bed or that bed, biding my time, passive as the truly phallic who do not have to try, assured that one day you would arrive to take from me the pressure of ennui, light as a bird, your legs like tall grasses shimmering before the wind from the sun. Thighs don't speak, though we pretend they do, nor the heart, which might as well be in the knee, third leg from the sun, sky crooked and every which way. Emblems of the love I share, or think I share, not knowing where you will be tomorrow, in some downtown bar, scooped up by some deadbeat Lothario, the way I could never be, while I maintain my exile, cooing over dogs and Christmas cards, my absent family rosy in firelight, and a station wagon purring in the yard. Thanks very much.